Hello there, and welcome to the Inspiring ECE podcast. I'm your host, Marcia Nicole, and I am so excited to be talking to you today about something that's so important to all of us, and that is building a community of support. As educators, we all know this job can be very demanding and challenging at times, but it can also be incredibly rewarding. But let's be real. It's not always easy to navigate this profession alone. That is why it is so important that we build community. Here at Ispyr to Educate, we are building a community to help support educators and advocate for the needs of the profession. So, sit back and dive in as we talk about how can we build a community that empowers and supports us throughout our professional journey. Let's get into it. Get ready to reunite your passion for early childhood education. I'm your host, Marcia Nicole, and welcome to the Inspiring ECE podcast. Our goal is to build communities where you feel inspired and motivated to be the best version of yourself. So join us as we dive into the world of early childhood education together and reunite that fire that brought you into this profession. As an educator, I know how challenging and rewarding the field can be, and that's why I created this podcast. We'll explore the latest trends and challenges faces in the field. We'll have expert guests and webinars and provide workshop, coaching, and mentorship programs that will help guide you to your ideal work-life balance. So join us as we dive into the world of early childhood education together and reunite that fire that brought you to this profession in the first place. So let's get started. All right, so let's talk about connecting. How do we do that? What does that look like? How can we as educators connect? Let's talk about a few ways that we can connect and advocate and build this beautiful relationship of support. Let's start at the beginning. Step number 1, connect with other educators. I know that sounds simple, and sometimes it's difficult. Not always are you going to be able to connect on a professional level, even in your workplace. So, how can you find other ways to connect with educators? We are blessed with having the ability of technology right now, where we are finger tap away of connecting with somebody through socials, through email. Reach out. That is so important. Try to share experiences. Try to spend positivity without the industry. Let's highlight that. Let's come together and build that connection. So, step number 1, you can always connect within your workplace. That's a great place to start. You're with your colleagues day in and day out. You're in the trenches together. You know what's going on in your centers or in your programs or in your schools. Create that community within the workspace. You can share your triumphs. You can share some of your falls, but that's okay. Support each other through it. Make time to connect. Hence that maybe you're going to take a walk during your break and discuss something that you wanted to try or something you're struggling with. Maybe it's before work or after work. Maybe it's just a coffee and a tea in the staff room over a great conversation. Remember about connecting. We want to foster a positive environment for both educators and children in our care. So when you are telling out positivity, positivity comes back. I believe that. Put it out there in the universe and it comes back to you from the universe. The next step that I would suggest in building community is trying your best to network, however that may look. So attend a conference or a workshop, start a very small book club and read a book about a challenge maybe a group of educators are facing. But networking, attending conferences, learning about new trends, different practices, things that are happening in the field. I'm going to share a quick story. For many, many years, I was in the classroom and I was just tunnel vision. I was cutting myself off for what was going on in the industry around me. I didn't know the new trends. I didn't know what was happening. And I was just kind of in my own little bubble. And it wasn't until I started to attend some of these conferences or take a workshop in something that interests me did it start to open up and broaden my perspective on this profession. There was so many avenues that I was closing my own self off to. Plus, I was limiting my professional development and the time that I wanted to put into being a great educator. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that time is difficult. How do you find time for all of this professional development and attending conferences and workshops? I get it. But you are also a passionate professional that loves what you do. And I'm not saying to take tons and tons of workshops and conferences. Do what's right for you. Do what works for you and for where you're at in your professional journey. So if that's one conference a year, that's great. Think about all the connections you can make in that one conference you attended. Maybe it's only a workshop online that's self-directed. That's okay. As you work through the tutorials or the videos, maybe you send an email talking to the person that gave you that workshop, telling them, this worked for me, this was great. That is building community. Sharing that feedback is an amazing way to connect with someone else in the field. So, attend what you can. But it also provides an opportunity to network and build relationship with educators, and never shy away from an opportunity like that. You know that being an early childhood educator can both be rewarding, challenging, and that's why we're here to support you every step of the way. At the Ispyr to Educate, we offer one-on-one and group coaching to help you navigate your ups and downs in the field and reunite your passion for early childhood education. Our experienced coaches, like Marcia Nicole, at Ispyr to Educate, have a wealth of knowledge and expertise to share with you. Each of our coaching programs is tailored to the individual, whether you are in the beginning of your professional journey, whether you're looking for guidance on specific challenges you're facing, or simply just want to refocus and recharge, we have a coaching program that's right for you. To learn more about our coaching services, visit our website at ispyrtoeducate.com or follow us on social media at Marcia Nicole _. We can't wait to work with you and to help you thrive in your career as an early childhood educator. Another way that you can join a community is join an online group or a forum of some kind. The forums for early childhood educators are a way to connect and share ideas and resources, but also discuss challenges and trends in the field. That is also a way to connect with experts in the field that have been doing this for a long time, a way to share their expertise with the masses. And that is so important within early childhood education, that we can reach as many educators with positive reinforcement as we possibly can. Another really great thing about online groups and forums is a place to ask those grappling questions. You know, those questions you have as educators and you don't necessarily know if you can ask your colleagues or if you would necessarily bring it up to a speaker at a conference. This is the place to do it. Ask a question. See what responses you get. Maybe it triggers other questions. Maybe it stems a really great conversation. And it's all about the communication, the connectability, the relationship building. And online groups and forums is a perfect platform for that. Now, I know some of us are not as outgoing and not as outspoken, and that's okay. You have to do what's right for you. And however you choose to reach out and connect to the community, it's okay. Take your time with it. For the longest time, I was an observer. I would just go into the forums and I would observe and I would watch the conversation, not necessarily partake in the conversation. That is still you connecting in a way. And when you're ready, you will reach out. And we will always be here for that. All right, my next tip is for those go-getters. Start your own group. We don't have to always join one. If you have ideas or if you have a cause or something that fits your needs, a specific area you want to dial into, start your own group. Invite other educators to come on in. That's a great way to create community that meets specific needs and interests. That can keep the conversation going. And those also lead to maybe their own conferences because they grow with such interest based on educators' needs and demand in the industry. All right, before I recap those tips I presented to you about building community, I want to share about a time when I felt unsupported as an educator and how I felt when nobody was listening. Early on in my career, I was placed in an infant classroom without any support. I was a recent graduate and had very little experience in infant care. I tried to go through the proper channels with speaking to my colleagues and my assistant supervisor and supervisor, and it just felt empty. Period. That was it. Empty. I reached out to my college professor and I just asked questions. She supported me incredibly. She put me in touch with people that I could talk to about developing infant programs. I dialed more into the specifics of development. We are still in contact today. We talk all the time about the changing aspects in childcare and the developing early childhood educator, as we like to call it. And we just keep connecting. That is so important, that you find your mentor, your colleague that pushes you outside the box, but if not, your community, a group of individuals that are passionate about the profession as you are. And that's why we're here. Right? Right. I know all of you smiling at me. I love it. Anyway, let's recap on today's episode because I want you to make sure that if you are looking for a community to build the support around educators, how do we do that? First, connect with educators within your workplace. Create that atmosphere, create that positive work environment where you can build those relationships within your workplace. Second, attend workshops, conferences, network. This is where you can kind of step out of your realm and your space of your own center or school. See what else is out there. See what other trends and learning opportunities are out there as well. Third, join an online group or forum. There are many ways to connect around specific ideas, sharing ideas, gathering resources. That is a great way to ask questions, and it's awesome for your inquiry, for finding out what's happening or what's next for you maybe. And for our extroverts out there, or the ones that aren't afraid, start your own group. Maybe that's on social media. Maybe that's just a forum. Maybe it's writing an article or a blog post. Those things are also ways to connect to the community. Now that we've discussed ways to build a community, before I go, I want to tell you how you can be a part of this fantastic community. I wanted to take a second and thank all the listeners. You are sending nothing but love and positivity this way around this podcast, and We at Ispyr to Educate are so grateful. With that being said, if you are looking for a community for support, the Ispyr to Educate community is here for you. We're here to support, motivate, inspire, and collaborate with educators, no matter where you are in your professional journey. And that's a wrap for the Inspiring ECE podcast today, all about building community for early childhood educators. Thank you so much for joining us. We had a blast, and we hope you did too. And remember, this community is for you. And we want to hear from you. Connect with us on socials, which is Instagram and Facebook at Ispyr to Educate. Also, visit our website at ispyrtoeducate.com or send us an email at edu@ispyr.com. We love to hear your thoughts and ideas. And don't forget, we're here to support you along your journey as educators. Don't forget to subscribe so you know when the next episode is coming out. And let's continue to inspire and support each other in the best versions of ourselves. Until next time, take care and have a fantastic day. And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Inspiring ECE podcast. Thank you for joining us. We had a blast, and we hope you did too. Remember, this is your community, and we want to hear from you. So connect with us on social media at Ispyr to Educate. Visit our website at ispyrtoeducate.com and also send us an email. All the details will be in the description or the show notes. And don't forget, we're here to support you through your educational journey. So subscribe and tune in for future episodes. And let's continue to inspire and support each other to the best versions of ourselves. Until next time, have yourself a great day.